You can't handle the truth.
What a gift, don't you think, from Mr. Wallace to the world?
Well, it's nice to see you too.
Obi-Wan, we meet again at last.
Eddie, is there anything you can't do?
Hello, I'm Tyler Smith, and this is Rediscover Movies. Thank you so much for watching. Today we'll be talking about Aaron Sorkin's Being the Ricardos, a period film about a week in the life of Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz as they make an episode of I Love Lucy in the midst of potential scandal as Lucy is accused of being a communist, and the same week that she discovers she's pregnant again, and there's talk of Desi's infidelities. So it's a very stressful week in their life, and I did not like this movie really at all. I wanted to like it more. Aaron Sorkin is hit or miss with me. When he is on his game, usually as a screenwriter, he's directed more stuff in the last few years, and I don't think it's always gone well. He made a film called Molly's Game, which I didn't really care for. He made Trial of the Chicago 7, which I thought was pretty effective. But here I really think that he just goes off on these flights of fancy, and I think he lets himself get away with too much as a writer. I think some of his best stuff is when somebody like a David Fincher or a Bennett Miller with The Social Network and Moneyball, respectively, their directing style grounds his sort of lofty, heightened prose. But he doesn't really show a lot of interest in doing that as a director, and he just plays into that very specific kind of tone, which feels light as a feather and yet often not so much serious as it is self-serious. He often feels like he's really trying to convince us that what he's doing is very important indeed. And I think most great movies that are important just tell us a story in a very straightforward way, whereas his characters will sometimes go off and speechify a little bit, and that definitely happens here in Being the Ricardos. And it's everything that it's all of the worst instincts of Aaron Sorkin, unfortunately, which is too bad because he has a great cast. He's got Nicole Kidman as Lucille Ball. He has Javier Bardem as Desi Arnaz. And then in supporting roles, he's got Nina Arianda as Vivian Vance, and he's got the always reliable J.K. Simmons as William Frawley, who... that's Fred and Ethel from I Love Lucy. Great actors who can elevate any material, but unfortunately, there's only so much you can do when you have a script that is constantly speechifying, to use, to reuse that term. So, it's frustrating because there are moments that work, as there always will be with an Aaron Sorkin script. I do think that Nicole Kidman and Javier Bardem do have a nice chemistry. It's tough because I actually don't think they're cast particularly well as Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz. I think they do fine with the characters that they are playing. I just never really feel like I'm watching Lucy and Desi, and that I think is a big problem. And that's, I know that seems like I'm splitting hairs. I'm very interested in them, and if this were purely fiction, I think I would enjoy it, but because it's meant to take place in a reality that we all live in, I think that's where things start to break down. And so, yeah, the film was definitely a disappointment for me. And I do think that, honestly, the material deserves better. I like Lucille Ball. I liked Desi Arnaz. I liked I Love Lucy. And I feel like Aaron Sorkin never really captures the essence of those characters, nor does he really capture the essence of the comedy. This is also a thing that Aaron Sorkin will do from time to time. In the mid 2000s, he made a show called Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip, which was supposed to be about the behind the scenes inner workings of a Saturday Night Live type sketch show. And that also was extremely self-serious. And what's interesting is that if you've seen other Aaron Sorkin stuff like The West Wing or Moneyball or whatever it is, he can be funny. But it seems he can't write or direct things that are meant to be funny. He can have characters say funny things, but when he decides to get philosophical about comedy, it's almost unlistenable. And this definitely fits into that. It just feels like he's not able to grasp comedy that exists outside of what he's thinking. That's kind of a strange idea. But anyway, in all, it's just a frustrating movie that has some nice moments, has some nice performances, but really not one that I would recommend right now. And not to reduce everything down to awards, but the film is getting a lot of awards buzz for his screenplay, unfortunately, and for Nicole Kidman and Javier Bardem. And I have less of a problem with them getting awards buzz, but yeah, overall, I just feel like the film in general should not be honored in any way and probably shouldn't have been made. But if you are a fan of Lucille Ball and you want to see what she's actually capable of, we actually feature several episodes of The Lucy Show available on Rediscover Television. And so you can check that out right now. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. We'll get you next time. Bye.